Hi everyone, this is Mrs. V Chan. So welcome to my Form 4 Accounting Lesson 5. And today is 1st of March 2020. Okay, so we are going to have another DSE question in 2012. Okay, and this question is much complicated than the previous one. Are you ready? Okay, so here is the question. All right, so you have the cash book given to you, and also you have the bank statement. All right, and we have some additional information that we need to adjust later. And let's look at the things here. We have part A, we need to update the cash at bank accounts, and part B, we need to prepare a bank reconciliation statement here. Okay, now be very careful since we have some restriction here, which is saying commencing with the updated cash at bank balance. So therefore we must follow this, otherwise your answer will be wrong. Okay, so part A is updates the cash at bank account. So here, okay, now be careful. My T account here is cash book usually, but marks will be deducted. You must follow the name given to you in the question. So I have to change this cash book to what? To cash at bank accounts. So this is cash at bank accounts. All right, and now, so this is the bank reconciliation statement. So since the question says commencing with the updated cash at bank balance, so commencing means starting with, so therefore we must follow, and this is balance as per cash book. And at this moment, okay, we don't know this figure. We can only know this figure after we have updated the cash at bank account. Is that right? So, and if we start with balance as per cash book, therefore, what do you think about unpresented check this time? So we need to do the opposite. So we need to add unpresented check instead of minus, and then we need to minus uncredited. We need to minus uncredited item instead of add uncredited item. Okay, and the balance, the answer here will be balance as per bank statement. Okay, so next we need to study the information given to us, which is cash at bank and also bank statement. Now here is my timeline and diagram to explain it step by step. So at the beginning of 1st December, so let's take a look. This is the opening balance. This is 10,500. Oh, on credit side. All right, so what do you think? This is positive or negative? This is negative bank balance, right? Therefore, it is an bank, which is what? Which is a bank overdraft. So I use bracket for bank overdraft. Okay, and then you look at the opening balance in the bank statement. Oh, a bracket here also means a negative figure, which is also a bank overdraft. However, okay, why this question is difficult? Because not only the closing balance here, the closing balance are not the same, but also the opening balance are also not the same. So bracket here means a negative figure. So here, all right. Okay, so that's why this question is quite complicated. All right, now we come to the end, the diagram. Here, this is the closing balance. Okay, balance carried down. Oh, added on debit side means debit side is smaller. So this is 9,530. So the cash book balance, the closing one before adjustment, use bracket for a negative figure. And here you also have a bracket. So the closing balance in the bank statement here, of course, they are not the same. So therefore, we need to update the cash book. Right, if we start with this figure, we add all the things on debit side, and then later on we minus all the thing on credit side, and then you get the adjusted figure. Okay, and here, so if you start with this figure, remember, what do we add? We add uncredited item because it means we will have more money in the bank, however, which is not done in the bank statements. And the opposite to that is minus unpresented check. Okay, now if we start with this figure, we add uncredited item and minus unpresented check. But the question says, commence with what? Updated cash at bank balance. So we don't start with this figure, we start with this figure instead. So the final answer is equal to this. Therefore, we have to do the opposite, that is add unpresented check and minus uncredited item. Okay, so therefore, it will be shown here, add unpresented check and minus uncredited item. And then the final answer will be equals to this 63,000. A bracket means negative. A bracket means overdraft. Okay, so next we need to check, okay, each item in the cash at bank and the bank statement here. So cash at bank debit side positive means what? We have check received it. So therefore we have to match this column with deposits, which is also positive on this side. Okay, so 125. We also have 125 here. We don't need to worry about that. But, 25,300, this is also, but this is not the same. So we need to circle it and circle it. And then we need to find out the reason why they are not the same later. Okay, so next, Chloe, 300, so same. Okay, no problem. And Common Company, 7235. We don't have 7235 here, so make a circle here. We need to find out the reason later. Okay, so, Cherry, we don't have as well. So we need to find out the reason. Okay, so this is the closing balance, huh? All right, now we come to the negative side here. This is negative. Why negative? Because it means we pay check, therefore we have less money in the bank. Okay, to be matched with this side. Okay, so the debit side, which is also the negative side. All right, so 2820 here. Yes, no problem. But I don't see 300 in the cash book. Okay, so 24,500, no problem. Okay, so 31,600, no. And this one, yes. And 72, no. Okay, and this one, no. And this one, no. No. And this one also, no. Okay, so since this is a very difficult question, so to find out all the reasons, so we must go through the additional information first. So that point number 1 here, a check for 23,500 received from Connie Faction Company. Okay, look at this. Whenever we receive a check, we should debit cash book, is that right? So I go to debit side here, cash book, okay, and then I find Connie. So here is Connie, right? So a check for 23,500. Okay, here. But here we don't have 23,500. Okay, so which figure should be wrong? Okay, here was wrongly recorded in the cash book as 25,300. That means, obviously, this is a mistake. All right, and this 25 and here is also 23,500. So this is no mistake. So therefore, the circle here becomes a tick, which is correct. So according to point number 1. So, but this is wrong. Okay, so this is check received. What should be the correct answer? The correct answer should be 23 instead of 25. So obviously, you can see the debit side is overstated. Okay, so how do I adjust the mistake? I have to credit cash book here. All right, so I have to credit cash book here because of what? Connie Faction Company, and being the debit side is overstated by 25,300 minus, what should be the correct figure? 23,500. 23,500 should be the correct figure. So my calculator, 2530 minus 23500. Okay, so here 1,800. So this is because of point number 1. Okay, so next, the second sentence in point number 1. Okay, you can give me a highlight to this point. Actually, this is new to us. Okay, so it says, it was discovered that the check received it. Again, whenever we receive check, we debit cash book, right? From common company. Look at the date here, 28. Here, I find common company. So this is 7235, all right? Was dated on 2nd January 2012. Now, this is a new thing to us. And we are doing the adjustment in December instead of January. So what do we call that? We call that as a post-dated check. So here is a post-dated check. Okay, it means, oh, this is not point 2, this is point number 1. Okay, it means a check dated with a future date. Okay, and the date mentioned here is 2nd January. So on 2nd January, 2012, okay, the double entry for receiving a check should be debit bank, and this is money received from common company. And how much is that? Okay, when I refer to the bank statement, 7,235, 7,235, 7,235. All right, now since there's a dates written on the check, all right, and now we are doing December, so therefore if you go to the bank in December, it is not possible for you to deposit this check. So that's why you don't find any this related check in the bank statement. So we call that a post-dated check, and post means after. Okay, so that the firm can only debit bank in January. You cannot debit bank here. You cannot debit bank in December. So therefore, here we have a mistake. This is wrong. Okay, and then we call this as what? A post-dated check. Okay, so what should be the adjustments? We can only debit cash book in January, not in December. So we're going to reverse this by credit cash at bank account here, which is 7,235. Okay, so common company reason, which is a post-dated check. Okay, so we have finished the adjustment related to point 1. Now we come to point 2, the credit transfer. Now first, you have to think about what is credit transfer. Credit transfer means we have done this in the bank statements but not yet done in the cash book. Is that right? And credit transfer means we have more money in the bank, so therefore, which is already done on credit side in the bank statement, done, but not yet debit the cash book. Okay, so therefore I go to bank statement here, the dates, can you see? Oh, it is given to us. This is a credit transfer, right? Done. Here, done. Done here. Okay, but not yet done. Not yet done in the cash book, and this is a customer pay us money. So therefore, for this credit transfer, since we have more money received, we have more money in the bank, so I'm going to here debit the cash book by, so how much is this? Which is 46,250. Okay, and which is credit transfer, means we have money received from debtor, and debtor is same as trade receivable, and the description is credit transfer, and this is related to the adjustment in point number 2. Okay, so therefore for this credit transfer, at the beginning it should be a circle because done in the bank statement but not yet done here. But anyway, after adjustments, okay, I have this corrected in the cash book just now. All right, okay, and then point number 3, Doris Limited had been informed by its bank that check 98227 was incorrectly debit entry, and the correction will be made by the bank. So this is quite a complicated one. Let's find out this check number here. See, 9 8227, and this is the amount. What is meaning of debit entry? A debit entry in the bank statement is negative. That means the bank deduct this much from our bank accounts. However, this is a wrong entry. Okay, and the correction has not yet been done by the bank, and it will be done in the next month. Therefore, in December, this should be a wrong thing that we need to adjust at the moment. Okay, so since we have money deducted from the bank, so therefore we need to minus, okay, from the bank account, sorry, not minus, this, since this has been deducted from the bank wrongly, so therefore we have to plus it in order to correct the mistake. Okay, so therefore if I go back to my timeline, so this is the timeline. If we start with 63,000 here, the bank has wrongly minus here, wrongly minus 105,660. Okay, but this is a mistake, so that I have to reverse this by adding back. Right, to reverse this by add back this figure. Okay, so if we start with this 63, we should add back this to cancel the wrong entry done, being deducted in the bank. But since we don't start with this 63,000, we start with this figure, which is the adjusted cash book balance, so that we have to change the plus to a negative one. All right, so here a plus to negative one, so that will be 105,660. Okay, and this is related to, oh sorry, this is not uncredited item. I need to give another description. So I move this to here because this is not because of uncredited item. However, this is related to the bank error and related to point number 3. Okay, so that is another difficult one. Okay, so let me repeat. Okay, this amount being deducted by the bank is wrong. Okay, but however, this one being included in this figure. Okay, and the bank will do the correction in the following month. But now at this moment, we need to do adjustment in order to correct everything. Okay, so that the figure here, if we start with 63,000, okay, we have to plus this to reverse it. And since we don't start with this figure, we start with this figure, so therefore all plus and minus will be opposites. Okay, so here is the bank error. Okay, you need to study the timeline here to think about it. Bank error, point number 3. That is a difficult thing. Okay, so next we come to the most difficult point in this question. So why it is the most difficult point? Because in this question, not only the closing balances, they are not the same, but also the opening balances, they are not the same. Now we are going to explain why the opening balances, they are not the same. So here. Okay, so the reason for the difference in opening balances, and then we have these 2 checks issued in November. So what does mean issued? It means paid in November, remained unpresented. What does mean unpresented? Unpresented means done in the cash book, but not yet done in the bank statement, right? But what is the most important thing? We are only given check number here and we don't know how much. Okay, let's see whether we can find some hints in the bank statement here. So 532010, oh here, check 532010. So therefore, this is 1, means same as this one. So what is meaning of that? It means issued in which month? Issued in November and presented in, now this is December, right? Okay, but however, issued in November, presented in December, that means not presented in November. Therefore, this 300 actually affecting the opening balances here. So if I start with this 10,000, so this will be minus 300. Okay, which is what? issued in November but not presented in November. Is that right? Okay, so then how about this one? Okay, so can you see this check being presented in the December in the bank statement in December? No, we don't see. That means what happened to this? This is issued in November, but still presented in December. Is that right? Okay, so when I go back to my timeline here, so this is the unknown, I don't know, let's say X. Okay, and this is what? This is related to check number 532009. Okay, but anyway, is it possible to find the unknown here? So after all the adjustment, this, if we start with this 10,000 negative minus 300 minus X, the final answer will be same as this. Okay, so therefore what is X? X will be equal to, okay, so a negative 10 minus 300 minus X is equal to a negative 10,500, right? Therefore, what is X? X will be equal to, now be careful, this is a negative one. Okay, so I move this to the left hand side, so this becomes positive. So if I start with this, this becomes positive. So 10,500 minus 10,000. Okay, and then minus, sorry, again, let me do it again. So this is negative. I move X to the right hand side, becomes positive, and this is positive. So 10,500 minus 10,000, right, and minus 300. Okay, so X is what? X is 200. Okay, this is very difficult. So that now, if I work out in this way, the unpresented check for this number here should be 200. Okay, so therefore, where is my unpresented check? I have my unpresented check here, and one is check number 532009, which is 200. Okay, this is a very, very difficult one. Okay, it means still unpresented in December. Okay, so far we have gone through all the additional information and adjustments, and then we go back to the usual thing. We have, okay, look at this circle. This circle means done in the cash book but not yet done in the bank statement, and this is debit side, means we have check received it, and look at the date, very late. So what do you think about this one? This one is easy. What is it? It is uncredited item. So here I have my uncredited item, which is 8,005. All right, so this one done. Okay, now what other circles here? So the opening balance. Oh, I have another circle here. So credit side in the cash book means we pay check, right? But we don't see it in the bank statement. So what is it? This is unpresented check. And also, this is also unpresented check. So I have two more unpresented check here. So unpresented check, so that is check number 532020 and another one, so 532022. So I have two unpresented checks, so 30. Okay, let me match the place. So 31,600 and 68,760. Okay, so I have finished all the circle here, explain all the reason. Okay, next let's check what things left, what circles left. Okay, so we have explained this, we have explained this. Now, okay, here another circle. Okay, look at this, refer to drawer. So same as the previous question. Remember who is drawer? Drawer is the one who pay check, and now we are the one who receive check. And this one is same as this one, is that right? So, okay, 72,530. Okay, we also have this 72,530, right? So that means this is number 1, Chloe Limited. We receive check, and then the bank number 2. So put the check received on the credit side. However, number 2, refer to drawer. That means something wrong related to Chloe. And this is number 3, but not yet cancelled. Okay, so what is this? We are going to cancel the check to credit the cash book. So where's my cash book? My cash book is here. So that is 22,330. Okay, and that is what? Chloe Limited, because something wrong. We call that this honored check. Okay, so finally 2 more circles left here, and this is direct debit. So we should have money deducted in the bank statement, but we have not yet done in the cash book. So therefore I have to credit my cash book here. So almost no space. So 5,025. Okay, what for? Because of management fee and pay by direct debit. Okay, and bank charges, money deducted from the bank, but we have not yet credited the cash book. So this is what? This is bank charges. Okay, so finally let us close the cash at bank account here by adding up all the total here and insert on smaller side, and this is the amount we insert. So this is closing balance. Okay, so that is closing. However, added on debit side, that means debit side is smaller, so we call that closing credits balance, and after adjustments. Okay, this is it, and therefore this is adjusted figure in the cash book. Here, this one will be the same, 49,895. Use a bracket because that is overdraft. Okay, and finally, okay, now be very careful. Even though you have the word add here, and this is negative, so that when you use your calculator, be very careful. This is negative, and the positive things give you less negative. Okay, so be very careful to avoid careless mistakes. So let me put another minus thing here. So 8005 plus 105, 660. Okay, so this is 113,665. Okay, let's check. So this is 49895. Okay, it shouldn't be add, it should be minus, because that is a negative figure. 600 minus 6870, and do the opposite, plus 113665. Yes, see, this is it. Okay, so that's all about this question. Okay, so finally we have this point C. So list 2 possible reasons why the check deposit made on 20th December was returned by the bank on 23rd. So here, so on 20 we have this check received it, right? And then on 23rd returned by the bank, and saying refer to the drawer. Now we have to find a reason why this check being dishonored. Okay, so we have the answer here. So the reasons for why the check being dishonored. Okay, so it can be what? Insufficient cash. So there is not enough money in whose account? The one who paid the check, which is drawer. So DRAWER. Okay, or when the drawer issued the check, the signature can be wrong. So drawers. So that would be drawer signature can be wrong. Or the one who received the check, the name is wrong. So that is drawees. Or simply, this is a post-dated check being returned by the bank. Alright, so that's all about this question. Thank you for watching my video. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.